Welcome to Guns Gear Network, everyone. Appreciate you tuning in. I'm going to bring you this tabletop review of a budget-friendly out-the-front or OTF knife that I picked up. I purchased this off the internet from a company called Blade Play, and I will put all that information in the section below where I got it. So, out-the-front knives, what are they? Well, they're exactly what they sound like. They are a spring-assisted knife that the blade comes out the front. The most well-known maker of out-the-front knives is Micr Tech, and that's what you have here. Very expensive knife. These knives range, $250-ish on up. So they're not a cheap knife, but they're super high quality, and we'll do a little bit of a comparison. And the only reason I'm doing a comparison is because Micr Tech is the most well-known out-the-front knife maker. So they're kind of known for that. This right here, you're looking at an entry-level price of about $24.95 to $39.95. Depends on which version, which color and things like that. This is the Titan, and they have different models and things like that. And this is the Titan version. And they have a bunch of different colors. They have black, they have desert tan, they have camo, they have zombie green, they have orange, red, yellow. They got a bunch of different colors, basically the whole rainbow. So I'm sure if you want to pick up one, you'll find one over there at the right with the right color that you like. This one is all aluminum construction. The body of the knife is made of aluminum. It has these inserts that has two on this side and one on this side, and those inserts are filled in with grip tape, so it's very grippy in the hand, and I like that. It's very, very grippy. It also has a little bit of jimping, not real aggressive, but it does have jimping all along the back, has jimping along the top here, and then of course the button itself has jimping on it also. The pocket clip is very nice. It is very heavy duty. It is very stiff. So once it is in your pocket, it feels very positive, like you're not going to lose it. I've had knives in the past. Can't tell you how many Spyderco knives I've lost years ago when they were one of the bigger names and the only game in town for a tactical style knife. They had plastic pocket clips, and they were pretty terrible about getting lost, and I've lost a ton of those things. They wasn't real cheap. It does have a glass breaker on the end, very similar into this, but this glass breaker, it's okay. It's not real sharp or anything, but you could use it for a self-defense type weapon as far as the back end of it, as far as popping somebody. It'll do that job. Whether it'll break glass, I hadn't tested it. I guess if you hit anything hard enough with glass, it'll break it, but it's not real sharp on the point compared to this. This one here is almost a little too sharp, to be honest with you. Yeah. So the mechanism itself is this. I don't know all the inner workings of it. They're basically obviously similar in design as far as that goes, the mechanism itself, but it is a spring assist. It is not a switchblade. So check your local laws. It's always some controversy about OTF. That's probably one of the most asked questions about OTFs. Is it legal in my state? You're going to have to research. Every state's a little different. From what I can tell, just a little cursory search of the laws and stuff, most OTFs are fine in most states. However, it always refers back to state and local. There's very few federal laws when it pertains to knives. It's always state and local laws that'll affect you one way or another. So, the mechanism itself, again, you just push this forward, and then it deploys the knife, the blade itself. Pull back, and then it retracts the blade. I don't know the steel. Obviously, it's a stainless. This right here is a partially serrated with a tanto or tanto tip to it. And the blade thickness is fairly thick, if you can pick that up in camera. So it doesn't feel like it's going to be cheap that way. As far as the thickness, not like it's going to be too thin, break off easy. It obviously gets thinner towards the tip. One of the questions that comes up about most any knife, does the blade have play or movement once it is deployed, whether it be a folder or any of that? And this one has some play this way, and it has some play up and down that way. But in defense of that, I think because of the nature of the design of out the front, it's almost nearly impossible to get this thing to lock up to where it has no movement. Because the reason I say that is, even with this expensive out the front, this has a little bit of play, not as much as this, but it does have play side to side, and it does have play up and down. So even this one, the more expensive knife, has play. So, one thing that, now probably not on these, but on your Micr Techs, sometimes they can be super, super stiff. Oh my God. To the point, I mean, when I got this one, I could barely even do it. I could not get this thing to go, well, especially one-handed. I could do it two-handed. I could maybe get it out, but getting it, pull that thing back to get it back in was nearly impossible. So, I don't know if this is the right way to do it, but I just drizzled some oil down inside here, and just as soon as I did that, it started working great. And that's just what I do. I don't know if that's the right way. It hadn't caused any ill effects of the knife. I did that on this one, even though it was easier to do right out of the box. Obviously, it probably has weaker springs, you know, whatever, anyway, than this one. But I went ahead and drizzled some down there just to oil up the mechanism a little bit. It may cause some problems down the road, but so far I hadn't had any problems with it. Just FYI, because of the design of the clip, this is a blade down, so you'll be able to pull it out of your pocket and do that. So that also keeps trash from going down in here quite as easy with it being this design. One thing that people ask, and because even in my state, these spring, what do they call them? It is called something. It's basically like a spring deployed knife blade, like a projectile blade, I think is what they call it. So people wonder, what about if because this thing's spring loaded and it's going to come, the blade comes flying out, what would it do if I stuck it to somebody and pushed it? Well, it's not going to do anything, and I'll show you why. If you look, I'll do it real close. Let's say you push this close to somebody and you did like that. See what happens? The blade does this, and you think, uh-oh, I broke it. No, you didn't break it. All you have to do is pull the blade all the way out, being careful not to cut yourself, and then grab a hold of it like this and just pull forward like that, and then it works just fine. Matter of fact, it's not the design of that one, it's the design of all of them. See, if you look, does the same thing. Now, if I take and pull it all the way out, works just fine. Now, people think, well, what about, you know, see, I can do like this, and it's not popping the blade or, you know, anything like that. It's actually staying put. So it's just when you deploy it, and they do that probably for different reasons, but safety reasons would be the first one. But this one is so pointed, could it make you bleed? Yeah, probably so. It's really, because it did go into that paper, if you look. Like that, it went into it. So if that was skin, yeah, it would pierce your skin, but that's about it. Just make you bleed. That's it. But just take and pull it back out, and it works just fine now. But I think they're super slick, all the OTFs out the front knives. I just think it's a neat design. I think it's one of the better self-defense designs. I prefer, because I'm right-handed, I usually put my pocket knife in my left side, and the reason is because my right hand, I want to get to my gun, but sometimes I may need to get to my knife in a situation, and I still like having, you know, when I say this, in a self-defense situation, when somebody's close up on me, and I didn't realize they were that close, or they kind of snuck up on me and got a hold of me, well, I may not be able to get to my gun. I can get to my knife, and with something like this in my left-hand pocket, I can pull it out, and, you know, I've got flip knives, right, that flip out. The problem with those, even though they're tactical folders and they flip out pretty easy, my dexterity in my left hand is just kind of goofy, to be honest with you. I'm kind of all thumbs when it comes to my left hand. I could pull this out of my pocket and still be able to go to work real simple and easy without having to trying to get that thing flipped open quick and anything like that. Pull this thing out and I'm ready to go to work if I had to. Obviously you can pass it over to your strong hand if you wanted to do that. But I just think that out the front knives are super slick. I think they're cool. They'll drive my wife crazy because I'll sit there and do like that and she'll say, would you stop that? So they are fun to do in general, so I do enjoy them. And but anyway, guys, if you're looking for an entry-level OTF out the front knife, I think Blade Play, if you'll check them out, has a bunch of different types, and they got them on sale right now. I did buy this, and I had it shipped over to my house, and you know, that's something I just wanted to try. I wanted to see what the entry levels were about, and so far I think they're great. One thing you might do, these Allen screws, it has Allen screws that holds it together. You may want, or actually stars, they're not Allens. But anyway, I'd probably go in and maybe tighten those, make sure you're not going to lose any screws. These screws here are proprietary to Micr Tech, to be honest with you. That's what they are. But anyway, guys, if you got any questions, post those below. Like I said, I will put in the section down there where I got this and the So you can go check them out. But anyway, guys, if you like our videos, give us a thumbs up. That's always appreciated. It's down there in that section. Also in that section over there is the share button. Doing both those things helps us out with our channel. It also helps any vendors or people that we buy stuff from that we do videos for that can get the word out about their products and their websites and stuff. But anyway, guys, appreciate you tuning in. As always, like, share, and subscribe. Bring another video shortly. Have a great day.